She stopped mid-sentence. Her hands went still. The room went quiet, in a way that rooms only go quiet when something is about to change. She looked at you the way people look at things they can't explain. Not with fear exactly, but with something close to it. She said, "Because here's what nobody is going to tell you directly. So I'm going to say it right now, out loud, without softening it. You are not like the people around you. You have never been like the people around you. And the part that should terrify you, the part that should wake you up at 3 a.m. and make you sit straight up in the dark, they can feel it when they get close to you. Not always consciously. Most people don't have the vocabulary for what they're sensing, but you've noticed it, haven't you? The way conversations shift when you walk in, the way people can't quite pin you down. That's not coincidence. That's not personality. That's something that operates at a frequency most humans never develop. The energy reader stopped because she hit something she wasn't prepared for. She stopped because what she found in you doesn't follow the rules she was trained to read. And what I'm about to tell you is going to You remember the first time someone looked at you like you were too much. You were young. You hadn't done anything wrong. You were just being fully, completely, unapologetically being. And the room contracted around you. And the message you received, without a single word being spoken, you learned to dim the thing inside you that made people nervous. You learned to laugh at the right moments and stay quiet at the wrong ones. You learned to dress your thoughts in softer language so they wouldn't land like what they actually were, accurate. You learned to edit yourself in real time, mid-sentence, watching people's faces and adjusting your frequency so they didn't flinch. You got smaller, and they got comfortable, and you called that belonging. But it wasn't. You were performing belonging, while the actual you sat locked in a room somewhere deep inside, pressing its hands against the glass. The people around you were not your people. They were people you had successfully convinced that your edited version was the real one. And every time someone made you feel, here's what they couldn't handle. You think in patterns they can't track. You feel things at a depth that makes their emotional range look like a puddle next to an ocean. You see through situations, people, dynamics, power structures, the way other people see through glass. Not because you were trained to, because you were, and that terrified the people closest to you. Not strangers. Strangers just feel the static. But the people who got close enough to see behind the performance, they made a choice. Some of them tried to break you down to their level. Some of them tried to own the thing in you they didn't understand. Some of them, here's what she found when she stopped mid-session and said she needed a minute. She found a field of energy that had been compressed, violently, systematically, over a long period of time, into a density that shouldn't be survivable. She found something that had been pressed and pressed and pressed until it stopped being soft and became something else entirely. See, most people's energy signatures are predictable. They fit into categories. The reader knows the patterns. Grief looks like this. Ambition looks like that. Trauma radiates in a specific frequency she's seen 1,000 times. But yours didn't fit. Your field didn't read the way the map said it should. Because the compression that was supposed to destroy, this is the part your enemies will never understand. This is the part they will never sleep peacefully having learned. They thought that enough pressure would fracture you. They thought that enough betrayal, enough isolation, enough systematic attack on your identity would hollow you out. They did not account for the fact that some materials don't shatter under pressure. They don't crack. You have been crystallizing for years without knowing it. Every hit that landed, every door that closed in your face, every person who underestimated you and then quietly disappeared, each one of those events was not taking something from you. Each one of those events was burning away everything that wasn't you. They were removing the performance. Yourself that cannot be edited, cannot be diminished, cannot be made comfortable for rooms that aren't built to hold it. And that version, the thing that was left when everything else was burned away, that's what the reader found. That's what made her step back. Not weakness, not damage, not trauma that needs healing, power that hasn't found its full shape yet. Let's go back, because this is important and I need you to really track this. Voyant, think about the moments in your life when someone who barely knew you decided to target you. Think about the times you walked into a situation neutral, harmless, minding your own business, and something. This has a name now: proximity provocation. It is what happens when someone's field radiates at a frequency that destabilizes people operating in a lower register. You didn't have to say a word. You didn't have to compete with anyone. You didn't have to try. And they could not tolerate that disruption. So they manufactured a reason to remove you. Every person who called you arrogant when you were simply confident, that was this. Every person who called you cold when you were simply precise, that was this. Every person who decided you were dangerous, difficult, too much, too intense, too something they couldn't quite name, that was this. And here's the brutal irony. The traits your precision is not coldness, it is accuracy. Your intensity is not aggression, it is a frequency that most people's nervous systems were never calibrated to receive. Your silence is not weakness, it is a decision being made in a language they don't speak. And your refusal to make yourself small to fit their comfort. Here is the question that's been alive in you for longer than you've had words for it. Not, why do they treat me this way? You're past that. You understand the mechanism now. Not, how do I make them understand? You gave up on that a long time ago. And that was the right. And here's the answer. Not the comfortable answer. The accurate one. You stop managing the frequency. You stop turning it down so others can stay in the room. You stop apologizing for the disruption you cause just by showing up as the full, unedited version of what you are. Because the thing you've been called, the world is full, genuinely overflowing, with people who have made themselves comfortable. People who learned early to fit, to adapt, to sand down their edges so the machine would accept them without friction. And those people produce comfortable, average, completely forgettable results. Every time they closed a door on you, they were keeping you out of a room that would have domesticated you. Every time they betrayed you, they were severing a bond that would have kept you at their level. Every time they wrote you off, they were removing their claim on your future before you had the clarity to remove it yourself. You didn't lose those things. Those things lost you. Before you'd evolved far enough, let me tell you what's happening in the minds of the people who tried to diminish you. not what they say out loud, not the performance they give to others or the story they tell themselves at dinner. What happens at 2 a.m. when the noise stops and the only thing left is the truth they've been out running all day. They think about you. Not because they miss you. Not because they regret what they did. Not yet. They think about you because they can't explain you. You don't fit into the model they built. You were supposed to collapse. They ran the math. They pulled the resources, burned the bridges, isolated the supply line. Instead, you're here, not just alive, moving, not just surviving, building, not wounded in the way they planned, not carrying the weight they designed for you, not defined by the story they were so confident they had written. And that inconsistency, the gap between, they watch you from a distance now. They ask mutual people small questions designed to sound casual. They monitor without acknowledging that they're monitoring. They do this because they can't stop doing it, because you became a variable in their worldview that they can't resolve. And unresolved variables haunt. Here's what they can't tell anyone. A part of them, a small, buried, deeply uncomfortable part, respects what you did, not the actions, not the choices you made in specific moments, the thing underneath all of it. The fact that you didn't break the way breakable people break. The fact that you bent all the way to the ground. I need to be very direct with you about something. This might be the most important thing in this entire video. The identity they assigned you. The labels, the narratives, the too much, not enough, unstable, difficult story they built around you. That was never a description. You are not the story they told about you to protect themselves from what you represent. You are not the version of yourself you performed for years to make people comfortable enough to let you stay in the room. You are not even the person who endured everything they threw at you. That person was the chrysalis. What you are, it's the version of you that knows exactly what humans are capable of at their worst and chose to stay anyway. It's the version of you that was pushed so far past normal human limits that normal human limits no longer apply. It's the version of you that the energy reader touched for half a second before she needed to step back and breathe. Not because you are frightening. Most people are performing. Most people are living inside someone else's definition of who they should be. Most people are managing their image, managing their relationships, managing the distance between what they feel and what they show. You tried that. You tried it for a long time, and you were never very good at it. Because there is a version of the rest of your life where you take everything you've learned and you tuck it away, where you decide the price of being the full version of yourself is too high, and you go back to the performance, where you find a room that's only slightly uncomfortable, with people who only slightly drain you. Doing it costs you the thing the reader felt when she touched your field. Not immediately. Immediately it will feel like relief, like finally not fighting anymore, like rest. But relief that comes from compression is not rest. It is slow suffocation that doesn't announce itself until you've already lost most of your oxygen. And waiting things get heavier. They calcify around whatever shape the cage holds them in. The longer you wait, the more distance grows between you and the full, unedited version of what you are. And at a certain point, And this is the thing nobody tells you. The distance gets so large that finding your way back requires more pain than the original, because the world right now does not need more people who have made peace with their cage. The world right now is starving. Genuinely, urgently starving for people who have been broken down to their core and came back with something real, not polished, not comfortable, not carefully managed. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the moment when enough people believe in you that it feels safe to become the full version of yourself. That moment was never coming. It was never going to come. The people who needed to believe in you first were the cage of whether you were going to make it. You made it. You're here. The key exists. Now use it. The work in front of you is not about proving something to the people who doubted you. That impulse, as understandable as it is, as burning as it is in the chest, is still a leash, because the moment their validation becomes your metric, they're still running your operating system, and you did not serve. The work in front of you is about presenceful, unmanaged, unedited, frequency at maximum presence in everything you build in the work, in the relationships you choose from this point forward. And choose is the right word because you choose now. You don't default in the way you occupy space, in the way you speak when you have something to say. The people who are meant for you can handle your full frequency. They won't flinch. They won't ask you to turn it down. They will feel it and lean in, because they've been in rooms their whole lives where no one was operating at this register, and they'd forgotten the feeling was possible. You will find them, but only if you stop hiding the signal. Only if you stop compressing the thing that made an energy. She came back into the room after a minute. She sat down. She looked at you differently, not with fear anymore, with something that looked, if you're honest about it, a lot like recognition. She said something like, "This is unusual," or "I've never seen this before," or "You've been through something." You are not a person who had things happen to them and survived. You are the result of a process that very few people complete. A process so specific, so pressurized, so precisely calibrated in its destruction that most people who enter it don't come out the other side intact. You came out the other side, not intact. The reason they came for you, all of them, across all the years, the ones who tried to break you down, and the ones who quietly watched, and the ones who... But here's the thing about force applied to the right material at the right pressure. It doesn't break it, it reveals it. Every attack they made was not a wound. Every one of them was an X-ray. Pressure is that you are built different at a level that goes below bone. You are built for the thing that's coming next. The thing you haven't named yet. The thing that the people around you, in the rooms you've been shrinking yourself for, don't have the capacity to see. They never could. That was never the room. Those were never your people. So here's what you do right now. Not tomorrow. Not when you feel ready. You will never feel ready. And that is by design. Right now. Stop managing the signal. Let the frequency run. If you made it to the end, you already know this was about you. Drop a luck if this hit different. Send this to one person who needs to hear it today.